Chetan Narula here for Cricket World, and it's time to talk about the side that has won more ODI World Cups than any other team. And of course, it is Australia that I'm talking about. Champions in 1987, champions in 1999, the last time the ODI World Cup came here to England. Champions in 2003, 2007, and of course, they are the defending champions because they won in 2015 as well. All of those Australian sides were invincibles. This, however, is a very, very different Australian side. They did not win an ODI series for a long time in these last 2 years. In fact, they lost 7 consecutive ODI series starting from January 2017. A lot of it coincided with the ban on David Warner and Steve Smith, who missed more than a year's cricket, serving lengthy bans for ball tampering in South Africa. It was almost as if half of their batting lineup was wiped out. It has been a long process of a recovery and team building for this Australian team. And now they're starting to come together as a unit under Aaron Finch. Leading up to this World Cup, they beat India in India 3-2. And then they beat Pakistan in the UAE 5-0. It shows, and mind you, those 2 series wins were also without Warner and Smith. So it shows that they are starting to get comfortable with this new bunch of players. And of course, those were in subcontinental conditions, different from here. So they have players for all weathers and conditions. And of course, now David Warner and Steve Smith have come back, adding bulk to this Australian side. Warner had a stupendous IPL. Steve Smith is coming back into his old form, the Steve Smith of old, in fact. So they will be reliable, they will be informed, they will score a lot of runs. Who's the other player to watch out for in this Australian side? I think that is Pat Cummins. He brings the X factor to this Australian team. I was lucky enough to watch him this past summer when India were touring Australia. And boy, can he bat well, can he field well, can he bowl well? Of course, won the Allen Bottom medal for the best Australian player of the year. And well, there's nothing really that Pat Cummins cannot do. So like I said, while you watch out for Warner and Smith, Cummins will be a key factor for Australia in this tournament. The other important factor for Australia is the fact that Justin Langer is their coach. He knows the Australian spirit, the way Australian cricket is played, the way the Invincibles played their Australian cricket. And more importantly, they also have Ricky Ponting as the assistant coach. He won 3 out of those 5 World Cups for Australia, and he will be imparting all his knowledge as to how to win. He's also coming off a good form, really, good coaching form, having taken the Delhi Capitals to the knockouts of the IPL for the first time in almost 8 years. Prediction time, and where do I see Australia finish in this World Cup? I think they will easily reach the semi-finals. There will be 1 or 2 hiccups on the way as they're still a side that's starting to come together. But once they get on a roll, they will be unstoppable. So semis it is for Australia. What happens once they get to the semis? It's a bit unpredictable. I personally think that if it comes to an Australia-India semi-final, they will have enough to beat a team like India. I think if they get to that stage of the tournament, Australia will be a powerhouse, perhaps the only team that could have the strength or the might to match or even stop England.